Hello. In this video, we'll talk about multiple value returns and functions. So far we saw functions that will return a single value, but is it the only way we can return when it comes to using functions? Actually, it's not. We actually can return multiple values from a function, and there's different ways to do that. We can return multiple values using an object, and this is something we're going to learn later when we come to classes. Or we can use a tuple to return multiple values, or we can use a list to return multiple values as items of the list, or we can use dictionaries. Okay. So let's take a look at this example over here. In this example, we're going to return multiple values as a tuple. The only way that when it comes to the return statement, whatever values we want to return, we need just to separate them by using a comma to separate the items. And they will be returned in the main where we call them as going to be returned as a tuple. And when it comes to returning as a tuple, it doesn't matter if you put them between parentheses or not. Okay, I will show you this example in multiple ways over here. So this is the same example that we saw earlier. Okay, so I returned them. I returned two values. I have this function, which is just fun, and it has two variables. It has word, it says hello world, and it has the variable x assigned to number 20. Okay, so if I want to return these two values to what I called them in the main, okay, I just can list them between, list them in the return statement and have a comma between them. And in the main where I called it, for example here, I called k equal to fun, and this, take a look over here, doesn't have any arguments. Okay, so it's going to return these two values as a tuple, and it's going to be stored in k. And if I say print k, it's going to print k to me as a tuple over here. Okay, what if I want to print each item individually? The first item and the second item. Can I do that? Of course I can. I just need to specify. Remember, tuples are type of sequence. Okay, so if I say print out k at index 0, that will print out just the hello word. If I want to say also print k at index index 1, it's going to print hello world and number 20. And there's also something fun that I can use. And again, if I put parentheses or if I do not put parentheses, it's going to work the same. Okay, because it's going to consider them, Python is going to consider them as tuples. Okay, so if I run it again, it's going to give me the same result. There's also one tricky way I can use it. I can get rid of these things, the parentheses, and if I want to return two values, when I call them, I can assign them to two different variables over here. So let's say k and j equal to whatever fun is going to return. So the first value is going to be stored at k, the second value is going to be returned, is going to be stored at j. So in this example over here, let me go ahead and say print k and print j. And let's see what is going to be the output. Okay, it gave me the same output. So whatever returned from the function, it has two of them. The first one was stored at k, the second one was stored at or assigned to j. Okay, and I print them out. So this is the way if you want to return it as a tuple. Let's go ahead and see another way to return multiple values from a function. Another way, the same program that we have, to return it as a list. Okay, to return it as a list, you want to make sure that in the return statement you include them between square brackets. So you're telling Python these two values are going to be part of a list, and over here in the main, when you call the function fun, you want to assign it to a list or to a variable that will be treated as a list. Okay, let's take a look at this example over here. Okay, so here is, I changed it. I said return it as a list. I put it between square brackets, and then I called the function, and the return I assigned it to a variable or an object called my list. Okay, and then I printed my list. And let's run this program and take a look over here. It returned it as a list. I printed it. Take a look over here in the output. It has square brackets, so it's a list. I also can specify one of the items over here. Okay, and let's see what's going to happen. It's going to print the hello world. If I say print out only item at index 1, it's going to print out the item that is located at index 1. And here is this is the way to return multiple values, okay, from a function. And that's about it.